Today, from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the ninth-year QB out of Eastern Illinois, author of 2 magical playoff runs in the last 3 seasons, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy going to look to throw it on the first play. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first 2 plays.
A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led out by an electric 3rd-year player from the University of Utah, Tyler Huntley.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Huntley to throw. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw, Huntley. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Jaguars in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Huntley. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere. As this complete to Woods. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there. Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Damian Harris, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. 2nd drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together. Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things going in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly. And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Now Garoppolo lost the football, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it. Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start. And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. On the move to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Akers hit. He coughs it up. And the Jags grab it. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown! Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back out, ready for this next drive, and there's the running back, Cam Akers. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it. It worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal. So it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Garoppolo. The open man here, Renfro. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 14. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And he loses the football a second time. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
The kick by Bass is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Now that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Offense returns to the field. There's the running back, the bruiser from Alabama, Damian Harris. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down this stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Huntley. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Huntley. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. On the return, here's Agnew. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Cam Akers in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Huntley looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. He's got this to Pickens. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Dean Lowry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. On 1st and 10, Huntley. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Off the play fake, Huntley. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Out to the right here to Shepard. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So this... drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Huntley. And this one is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle 3rd of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. To throw on 3rd down, Huntley. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Julio Jones. His 1st touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a Julio Jones touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now out come the Jags.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
To throw on 2nd down, Huntley. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll work down inside the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
On the give, this is Harris. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down, Huntley escaping the pressure right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 13-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Finding Pickens for another catch. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Flush to his right, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Sterling Shepard. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a fifth straight victory. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time a 9-play drive, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Looking to throw. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Roquan Smith leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop. And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck. After the sack on first down, Garoppolo, and he goes out right around the 39. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He completes it to Jones. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to make it 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right? And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way. Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half. And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call, but how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Off play action. Huntley. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They hand this off to Harris. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Huntley flushed out right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Well, the drive starts with a completion left side, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Garoppolo now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Jags grab it. Past the 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Garoppolo looks to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Caught on the right side by Jones.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. That one looks like he'll throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Hayward able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Huntley. And that's complete to Shepard. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Jacksonville, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Colts,